Hello and welcome, I'm Tina, a jazz guitar player from Berlin, and today I'm going to show you 6 harmonizations of Amazing Grace. I stole those harmonizations from the YouTube channel Jazz Duets from Nick Holmes, and I just put all the chords that he's playing on the piano on the guitar. You can use those chords for a duo accompaniment, and let's start with the first version. And the chords that are being used in this example are only bar chords. They all stem from the key of B flat major, and it's the 1, the 4 and the 5. So in example number 2, Nick introduces the add 9 chord. That's a triad with an extra note, with an extra 9, but with no 7. It's a very beautiful sounding chord. And there's also a systematic way in which you can create a lot of add 9 voicings. You just take one of your drop 2 voicings, let's say the D minor 7 chord. And then we're raising the 5 of the chord by a half step, so the A to the B flat, which gives us this already very beautiful sounding chord. And if you would analyze this shape to the B flat in the root, which we're actually not playing, we would come up with a very nice B flat add 9 voicing. Of course, you can do that with any D minor 7 drop 2 voicing. In version number 3, we find a dominant 7th chord, the B flat 7 chord, which acts as a secondary dominant. I'm not going to talk about that now because I made another video about it, but just let's say those dominant 7th chords point to the next chord, but it's not a modulation. Harmonization number 4, there's the 4 minor chord. It's a chord I'm talking a lot about. So if we are in B flat, it would be the E flat minor on the 4th degree, but there's an F in the bass, which is crazy cool. I found it really hard to come up with nice voicings in the key of B flat. So let's move on to the key of C and just have a look what we can do with the chord there. So in C, the 4th degree would be F, and 4 minor would be F minor, of course. And then we put again the G in the bass. And now, for example, we could also think about this chord. Another example would be I never play this chord. I'm going to experiment with it for sure, and I'm making a mental note that I could play the 4 minor chord but then play the root 1 whole note higher. So in the last 2 bars of verse number 5, we find those 3 beautiful chords. So the G flat major 7 is on the flat 6th degree of the B flat major key and the A flat on the flat 7th degree. And then it's just the tonic. And you can think about it as a modal interchange, getting chords from other tonalities but not modulating. That's a very interesting concept, but I'm not going to talk about modal interchange today. Let's have a look at the last version. And version number 6 is really crazy cool harmonization of that song, and I just want to talk about bar 6 and 7 where he's playing those chords here. If you have a look at the first version, in those 2 bars you have just like a plain F chord which is the dominant of the key, so we can think tension and release. So tension basically means you can do whatever you want. And what is happening here is that he's moving major chords down in the interval of 4ths, right? Like the G flat and then the root a 4th lower and again a 4th lower. But the only thing that is happening that he's playing an F in the bass with the E flat major chord, which turns it in a sort of a sus chord, but the structure is moving those major 7 chords in 4ths down this ladder, and then instead of playing a B flat major chord, he is resolving it to the minor parallel. So that's a really cool gimmick that you could also use for soloing, and just think about it, how cool that would sound. I definitely have to try that out. And before I forget, in bar 4 we have that G flat major 7 chord over the A flat major. If you think about it, G flat major and the A flat in the bass. If you would analyze that, and I think many of you know that chord, it's an A flat 7 sus chord, so it would be kind of hard to exactly play that chord on the guitar. So I'm thinking, okay, it's a sus chord, A flat 7 sus 4 chord. I'm just going to use all my possible A flat sus 4 chords and not getting crazy with this G flat major 7 chord over the A flat, because it just has the same effect. So that's it for today. I hope you're going to enjoy those chords. I'm enjoying them deeply. Let me know if you have any chords or any things that you would like me to take a look upon, and then I make a video for you. And I see you around. See you next time. Bye.